What's up, sharpening tube? It's Diamond Cut Steel, and today you guys are going to learn something. What we want to talk about today is something that I never hear talked about on any of the sharpening channels, but it's something that is really important, and it comes to diamond stones or diamond plates. You always hear people talk about grit contamination. And yes, grit contamination is definitely a problem when people are sharpening at a high level and they're looking for certain things. The average person is not going to know a different, the average knife user, even your average hobbyist level knife user, isn't going to know the difference between a 600 grit edge, it's a true 600 grit edge, and a 600 grit plate that has some 800, or 400 grit contamination in it. That's not what we're going to talk about, though. Grit contamination matters, but only to people that are looking for a certain thing. If you're not looking for perfect scratch patterns, extremely consistent edges, it's not going to matter to you. To me, what is more important for most people, now of course if I'm trying to do a really really high grit, super deep mirror polish, that's one thing, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about people buying diamond stones, diamond plates, to be able to quickly and efficiently sharpen any steel they got without worry. That's what we're going to focus on. And there's something that you do not hear talked about when it comes to diamond plates, and that is the sharpness of the diamonds. You ever notice how some plates, even after they're broken in, they feel like they have a lot of bite. They feel aggressive. Even on the finer grits, they feel aggressive. They bite. You feel them grab the steel and cut it. And then some, you don't get that feeling. Instead, you get more of a skatey feeling, almost like you're just going over rocks. But it don't necessarily feel like it's doing that much. That's what we're going to talk about. And that has to do with the quality of the diamond that's being used. All these electroplated plates are done with monocrystalline diamond. They don't use polycrystalline diamond in these. They don't need to. Mono is the better option. It's more aggressive, it's sharper, it cuts deeper. And when I'm using diamond plates, I want deep, aggressive, quick cutting. Poly diamond is not as efficient at that as monocrystalline diamond is. So, right here, we have a 200 grit diamond plate. And if you look at this plate, these diamonds most of them, some of them, it's a well-used plate, so some of them are kind of roundish looking, but for the most part, these diamonds look sharp. You can see crisp, sharp edges all over. Prime example, right here, just that one. As you can see, the diamond looks sharp. It has sharp edges. But you also have ones like this right here. Now, this is just because this is a heavily used plate, and that diamond's actually been broken. As you can see, it looks relatively smooth. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you over some different diamond plates, and I'm going to show you. When you buy certain plates, and this doesn't necessarily just have to do with the budget plates. There's some good plates that have, the diamonds just don't have that crisp, sharp edges on them to cut great. You have a lot of diamond plates today. They have diamonds much like these. I'm going to use the largest diamond, the largest grit I've got, the largest grits I've got, to really be able to let you guys see. And I'm going to show you some other stuff when it comes to diamond plates that you don't see or hear talked about. Now, here, this is a prime example of a very, very coarse diamond plate. Look at the diamonds. They all look relatively smooth. This diamond plate does not have any aggression. Now, will it cut the steel? Of course. But is it going to cut efficiently like it should for such, a aggressive diamond plate? No. These diamonds don't have, there's some sharp corners, but mostly they're kind of rounded over. As you can clearly see. Okay. Now we'll go to a stone that's got nice sharp diamonds, or sharper diamonds. Now, this plate, as you clearly see, these are rounded over. They don't have no really sharp facets. Yeah, see right there, it really shows it. You see a few that have sharp edges, but predominantly they're not. So now we'll go to one that actually is going to have nice sharp edges. Okay, so here you go. You have much sharper corners on these diamonds. Again, these are all well-used plates, so there's going to be some chipped off and broken pieces. But predominantly, these are all nice, sharp diamonds that cut deeply and cut efficiently and remove metal efficiently. Now, this isn't just a thing with your lower grit, or large micron diamond plates. We'll go up. Now, this is going to be a 600, and this is going to be nice, sharp diamonds. Let's see if I can zoom in a little more without really blowing the resolution out. Okay. Let's get it focused a little bit better than that. Okay. I'm sorry the resolution isn't the best, but that's what happens when you go into super high detail. So, as you can see, well, yeah, it's not coming through the camera that good, but you can tell that these are nice, sharp diamonds that really grab and cut the steel. So, then you have here you go. This is going to show you on a 325. These are nice sharp diamonds. And they cut nicely. Let's yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let me check these. Here you go. Now here, this is a slightly more large micron plate, and as you can see, these there's a mix in this one. This one's got a lot of rounded over diamonds, but it's also got quite a bit of nice sharp diamond. But mostly rounded over diamond. And again, this isn't just cheap plates. I'm showing you plates from TS Prof, Gritomatic, SY Tools, and then some other cheap Chinese plates. So the worst of the bunch are the TS Prof plates that are expensive as hell. The SY Tools, SY Tools are the best of the bunch, and they're very cheap. Now, let me show you DMT. And I'm going to show you something else with diamond plates that a lot of people don't talk about, or I've never really seen talked about, or showed, I should say. This is a 325 mesh DMT. And I don't know if it's coming through very well. I wish I had a 220. But these DMTs don't have the super sharp diamonds that they used to. Yeah, this isn't showing very good. I've got back resolution up. The DMTs they don't have the nice sharp diamond that they used to. They are more rounded over. They don't have the bite. They don't have the aggression. Yeah, so let's see. Let me show you. That's a 325 DMT. Let's show you a 400 SY Tools, and you should see how much more you'll see. The diamonds are nice, sharp. Nice and sharp structures. I've got to get a better microscope for doing this. This isn't really doing a good job on the once you get above about 220, 300 grit. But these are much sharper, more aggressive diamonds that bite a lot better. And they cut better. They cut cleaner. Yeah, there's a SY Tools 200. And again, it's mostly nice, sharp, crisp edge diamonds. It's going to have some that are smoothed over. But for the most part, see right there, you know, those are some smooth. That might be electroplating. But you have nice sharp diamond. And a lot of the plates today don't anymore. DMT used to have really crisp, really nice sharp diamonds, much like the Sharp All plates. Nowadays, the Sharp All plates have really crisp, sharp diamond. Let's go to a DMT. Fine. Actually, you're not going to be able to. These are just too small. Yeah, we're not going to be able to see enough detail on that. Anyways, okay, look, so you want your plates to have diamonds that have nice sharp facets on them. Not the rounded over diamonds that are on a lot of plates today that are make for a skatey plate that doesn't cut that fast. Yeah. So let's see how this shows up. Here's a 320. This has got nice sharp diamond. This cuts very nicely. Yeah, these show up pretty good. As you can see, these all look like they have nice, sharp, defined corners. They're not rounded over. Sorry, but you see like that right there. I use these to lap some stones. I need to clean them out better, but there, I mean, you can see these all have nice sharp corners. That's what you want on your plates. It makes such a huge difference, and you don't have that skatey feeling like, hey, you know what, this is a really aggressive plate. It feels rough, but it doesn't cut. Perfect example right here. When you're going across this thing, it feels super rough because those are large diamonds. But look how smooth they are. Like, yeah. Will it cut? Yes. But it's not going to do it efficiently. It's going to feel skatey. It's not going to remove material like it should. Atoma. They got nice, sharp, crisp diamond. Older DMT. Wonderful. Sharp All. Wonderful. Yeah. Hell, I can't think. The Hapstone diamond or CBM plate. Well, we're just saying diamond. The Start series, the electroplated stones. They are fantastic, super sharp, crisp diamond, and they cut beautifully. Now, I'm going to show you something that I don't really think anybody else has really ever showed, or at least they have. I haven't seen it, and that would be what happens when you just use your diamond plates without, you use them dry. You don't ever clean them. And this is what happens. It's going to give you a really good visual. Okay. So here's your diamonds. I actually got these specifically so I could show y'all. Alright. You see all the gold, right? That's electroplating. You see all this right here, all the silver? That's steel load up. That is totally steel load up. See all that right there? Now this is on a very coarse plate, so it doesn't, it doesn't really bother it that much. But on, say this was a 600 plate, well, that load up would be literally as tall as the diamonds is. Yeah. You can see I made these plates up to show, but what I'm showing y'all is right here. You see all that steel? Grr. Trying to show y'all. Can't see it on my fingers, but anyways, that's steel. Here you go. This is on a little finer one I made to show y'all this. And this one ain't as coarse. That one was like, I think, a 80 or something like that. But now here on this 150, which is still quite a coarse stone, look at that. You see all the diamonds? I mean, clearly you can see all the diamonds around it. And that's load up. That's showing you all the steel load up. See? So, yes, you can use your diamond plates dry. It's totally fine. I don't suggest doing it because your sharpening steels that have, especially something like tungsten in it, you definitely don't want that to be, floating around in the air when you breathing it in. It's very bad for your health. So I always suggest to lubricate your diamond plates with at least water. It's not that hard to just wipe them off, set them out, let them dry. They won't rust. I mean, if you put them up while they're still wet, they will. But if you just simply use it, pat it off with a paper towel, and let it out for overnight, and it'll be good in the morning, put it up. But so for health reasons, I highly suggest that you use a fluid so that stuff doesn't get in the air, that dust doesn't get in the air. But from a performance standpoint, there you go. That's what's happening to your diamond plates. It's a 150. And it's probably pretty true to grit. That's probably pretty close to actually what a 150 is. And as you can see, in places the load up is almost the height of the diamond. I mean, not completely, but getting up there. Now imagine if this was on a 325, that the diamonds are less than half the size, way less than half the size of these diamonds. What do you think's happening? So I always suggest Windex. Windex and Dawn. Take Windex and water, dilute it, or make it 50-50, and then add a few drops of Dawn to it, or just Windex and water. Either or works great. It'll float all that debris away. It'll keep you perfectly clean diamond plates. Go run them under the faucet. It'll wash all that steel out of it immediately, and you'll have fresh diamond plates always. So yeah, I definitely suggest Windex, 50-50 diluted Windex. Water, 50% water, 50% Windex. That's what I recommend. If you want to add a couple drops of Dawn to it, that's fine too. I personally prefer just 50-50 water and Windex. You will never have that happen if you use that. I mean, eventually it would if you didn't run them under a faucet and you just let it dry, because the diamond or the steel filings would fall back as it dries, would fall down into the stone. But if you just simply use your Windex and water, do your sharpening, run them under a faucet, you'll have a completely clean stone without anything more than just running it under water. It'll wash all that off, you'll be good to go. If you just use your stones dry and you don't clean them, you will load them up to the point to where they won't stop cutting, of course, but they will get to where they're not cutting at anywhere near the efficiency that they should. So So I know this video is going to be boring for most of your knife dudes. That's why I said, what's up, sharpening tube? Your sharpeners are going to get some information out of this if they don't know. A lot of you guys probably do know, but there's probably a lot of you guys that don't know. So I just showed you. You want nice sharp diamonds on your plates. The stones I'm suggesting right now are Sharp All, Atoma, Trend. Those plates are guaranteed going to have nice, crisp, sharp diamonds. If you're on like a system, I suggest SY Tools almost as number one. Do they have grit contamination? A little bit, yes. Speaking of that, I'll show you. You would hear everybody say, oh yeah, the TS Prof ones, they're great. They don't have no grit contamination. Here's one right here. Extra coarse, TS Prof. Let's see how much grit contamination. All right, first place I went. Grit contamination, grit contamination, grit contamination, grit contamination. I mean, these are clearly larger pieces, significantly larger. Just almost anywhere I go, there's grit contamination. Now, is it terrible? No. But it's there. And like I say, it's going to be there to some extent on every stone. I don't care how much it costs or how great it is. But on these stones that you're going to hear people tell, they're great, but they would say those SY Tools are garbage. Just because they're a cheaper stone. These stones right here, they wear too quickly. They're not nearly aggressive enough. They do have nice sharp diamonds, but this is the coarsest stone, and it's not even close to aggressive enough. The SY Tools, let's get a 200. Is it going to have some grit contamination? Yep. Will it be much? Nope. SY Tools, SY Tools. Let's see. No. Yep. Okay. Grit contamination. Grit contamination. Grit contamination. Grit contamination. Would I say it's much worse? Nope. They're probably, as far as contamination is concerned, they're probably about the same. There's a bigger piece. There's a bigger piece. But is it drastically bigger? No. Just like these have some grit contamination, so do these. For $40, you can get a 10-piece set of these. From 80 grit to 3,000. And they're great stones. They last pretty well too. So yeah, as far as grit contamination is concerned, they all have it to some extent. And if you're not looking for, how do I say this? If you're not somebody who is really into sharpening, where any discrepancy in the scratch pattern is going to bug you, it doesn't matter for you then. When I'm like my user knives, my knives that are out in the field with me in the warehouse, all I care about on those is a sharp, aggressive edge. That's it. I don't care about if I notice, oh, there's one, a couple out of place, larger, deeper scratches than what's on the rest of the edge. I don't care. I want bite. And I want a nicely shaped edge that cuts good. That's all. Now, sure, if I'm going to be doing some pictures on Instagram or something, yeah, that's different. But most people that use their knives don't need or care about that. They just care about a sharp, good cutting edge. Those SY Tools are fantastic. If you're looking for a budget stone, bench stones, I don't know the name of them. I can put a link in the comments I did a video on them. The 300, 600, but I found some that are actually really good, and they're non-interrupted. They're full plates, which is what I really recommend. They got nice sharp diamonds. They're fairly consistent. They got a little bit of grit contamination, but for the most part, they're fantastic. So I'm going to shut my mouth because I'm not showing y'all nothing, so you probably ain't going to keep watching. But anyhow, I hope this video helped. You guys have a good one.